Welcome to Garage Gym Athlete Ask Me Anything. It's pretty simple. I'll be answering questions from the thousands of athletes that follow our daily programming. If you have a question or topic you want submitted, go to garagegymathlete.com/AMA. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast, special edition Ask Me Anything with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
Super special. We're even wearing matching shirts, not planned.
Not planned. Yep, you can see it. There it is, which is awesome. So this one is a little bit different than normal. I mean, really, guys, honestly, it's just the pandemic. The pandemic is creating all sorts of craziness for everybody, I'm sure. But we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. Let's see. This one was from Dylan, and Dylan had kind of a two-part question, so we'll dive into it. He said, what would be your recommendation for a cheap piece of cardio equipment? I don't like rowers because I have a history of low back problems, but I live in Wisconsin and it gets too cold to run year round. Do you recommend air bikes? And if so, which brands are decent for the money? I think I'll just stop there and then we can answer that one. And then we'll answer the second part of his question. So cheap cardio equipment, what you got, Joe?
I mean, I almost want to unpack the lower back issue part because I feel like rowing shouldn't be too much of an issue, but that's something else to address. I think it'd be good to look into. As far as cheap equipment, the best bang for your buck, I think, would be a spin bike to me, because treadmills, I don't think treadmills are very good at all. And even like Liz, my wife's experienced, she has to run on treadmills because she's stuck on a ship. And after a few weeks or a month or so, if there's a heavy amount of running in the programming, she gets stress fractures in her foot. She doesn't get that on regular running surfaces. So just treadmills can be a bit of an issue, and they're a bit more clunky. But we love our spin bike when we've had it. And
you did a lot of research before you pulled the trigger. What was the price range you were getting?
So, and funny enough, my new roommates just got one as well, and you can get pretty decent ones for $250 to $400, depending on what your price range is. There's obviously going to be ones more that are going to be more expensive. They're really, really good ones. If you bump it up to about $400, you can get some really pretty decent ones, and they're all on Amazon. I did do a ton of research, and there's even dedicated like websites. If you just Google like comparing spin bikes, you'll come up with all kinds of articles and websites that just compare spin bikes, and they're like, hey, for your price point, this is what you want. If you want to do this is what you want. And even like a little bit of specs here and there.
Yeah. And I think, so I have the Concept 2 biker, but that's probably it's not on the most expensive end as far as bike go, but they're also not cheap. I don't remember how much it costs now. I think it's like $1,000. Sound right?
For biker? I thought it was the cheaper one. It was like $800, cheaper than the rower, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't recall. I mean, that's what I have. I love it. But the cheapest option, in my opinion, and also maybe the crappiest, would be Craigslist Airdyne search. Like, I know that it's not possible, but I mean, it's not you can't like pull the trigger on it. But I would look into that, because I see these deals pop up all the time in all these different garage gym groups of people getting, and I'm talking about the old like Schwinn Airdyne style bikes. They just pop up from people getting rid of them. They are hard to grab, but you can typically snag them for like $100 or $200 or something like that. So really low cost, and it'll definitely improve your conditioning. So yeah. I mean, because I have both of those. I have an old Airdyne, and then I have the Concept 2 biker. And then if you want to buy one, I think the Rogue Echo is, next in line for not super cheap, but not overly expensive. I think they're, as far as bikes are concerned, I think it's around the $750 price range. So that one's an option as well.
Yeah, that's definitely up there on the list. So I'd say like for what would you put your cap at for the like used Airdynes? I'd probably say 200 would be my cap.
200, yeah. That's exactly what I would say.
Somebody posted just recently that they were about to pull the trigger on a used one for like 400, and I was like, no, that's not worth it at all. You might as well just go new.
Yeah, you could get a spin bike, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like that price difference. If I'm like, because there's a quality issue. Like, if you spend $400 on an old Airdyne, and you could have spent 700-ish on one from Rogue, yeah, like we're getting close to twice as expensive, but the Rogue one will never break. Like, You're going to be fine. But if you're spending 400 or above for a used one that could possibly break and might need maintenance, you're probably going to be irritated. So
yeah. So I got a Schwinn back in San Diego for about 175 is what I paid. It was secondhand from an old CrossFit gym that I was getting rid of theirs. It was great. I loved it for a while, but after about a year and a half, I broke it because I was just going too hard on it or something happened, but it broke and I stopped using it. But I didn't really care because I was only paid 175 for it. So I still got a year and a half of use out of it and it was fine. And we were planning on eventually upgrading anyway, but that's just one example of why you go a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. And mine is starting to make some really funny noises. So I think a brake is in my future. If I wasn't using the erg, the Concept 2 bike erg so much, I probably would have broken the Airdyne already. But
I have tips on how to break it.
It's getting close. It's getting real close. All right, let's go to the second part of this question. Hopefully those are some good recommendations. But Craigslist really, or Facebook Marketplace, are great to look for used equipment as well. So he also said, I also watched the AMA on Zone 2 versus high intensity today, and I'm curious since I cannot run in Zone 2. My heart rate always goes up to 175 to 180 no matter what pace I run at. Should I be walking to lower my heart rate than jog more to keep it in Zone 2? Do you want to go first?
I'll let you.
Okay.
It's more of zone stuff.
Yeah, I think so. First off, if you can't run in Zone 2, that's okay. Like it's not a problem. That's more of like an advanced athlete thing. That'd be like coming to ask me like, hey, I can't back squat 500 pounds. Would it be okay to still back squat? Yes, you're just going to do it slightly different than sorry, having some technical difficulties here with the video. So anyway, you would just walk. So whatever is Zone 2 for you is what you would do. So that would be a walk. Now I do recommend, like when we talk about Zone 2 Murph and things like that, doing a combination of what you're talking about. So whether that's 50 seconds walk, 10 seconds jog, or 30 seconds walk, 30 seconds jog, switching back and forth, whatever it takes to keep you in Zone 2. I know when I do Zone 2 Murph, which is where we do the entire Murph workout, but try and stay in Zone 2, I can run the first one in Zone 2, but the second one I have to do what I'm talking. I have to go back and forth between hitting Zone 2 and not in Zone 2. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. Most people can't run in Zone 2 for very long. So I have like a very low resting heart rate and mine stays down pretty low. I just tested out a workout where we're in Zone 2 for a long time and it lasted about 3 minutes. It lasted about 3 minutes before I had to stop and walk, and I walked for like 30 seconds, then I could jog again. So it's hit or miss back and forth like that. And something that we mentioned when we were talking about zone training is that it's better to stay at the bottom level of it because you're raising your floor. We're not trying to reach higher intensities to raise your ceiling. We're actually just raising your floor so that your heart rate isn't as sensitive to when you actually start doing activities.
Yeah, I think people get too focused on the amount of work that's being completed. If all we ever had you do was Zone 2, that would be problematic. Like if it was just like, yeah, we do Zone 2 every day, then it would be good for your fitness, but ultimately it'd be really boring training and you wouldn't progress as quickly as mixing everything together how we do. So I think doing occasional Zone 2 is going to be really good for you, and you will eventually, over time, raise that floor that Joe is talking about so you can run and still be in Zone 2. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for this week's Ask Me Anything. If you guys are watching on YouTube, go ahead and like, subscribe, leave a comment, and look at you can see my goofy, like, whatever the hell's going on with my camera. That's a fun place to see. If you're listening, 5-star review and positive comment would be awesome. But if you want to ask a question, go to garagegymathlete.com/AMA and we will get it answered. Thanks for watching or listening. I hope you enjoyed today's Ask Me Anything episode. So one more time, if you want to submit a question, topic, or idea, you can do so at garagegymathlete.com/AMA. And hey, while you're there, if you haven't already, sign up for Garage Gym Athlete membership. We are the best community and programming on the internet. I dare you to try and prove me wrong.